We all know the first reason we play disc golf. If it was a random afternoon with nothing to do, church camp, or most of you, an excuse to smoke weed. Right around COVID, thousands of people, for whatever reason, decided playing Frolf was the coolest thing in the world. That was only for about a year or so before that fad faded faster than frozen yogurt. Although for some of those mom and pop shops still shilling Pokemon cards for way more money than my mom would give me for an allowance, disc sales saved them. Next thing you know, the old shelf of basic-ass Innovidiscs grew into almost every major manufacturer. I wonder how many stores disc golf saved just for a couple years to pass and now be stuck with colorful frisbees everywhere. The best part about this expansion was the new demographic that would be exposed to those flying saucers. And all it really takes is one friend's suggestion that quickly turns into an obsession. Now all of a sudden you have more discs than Magic the Gathering cards. Okay, I know that's not anywhere close to true, but it's still how Choi, Q, and Big Red got introduced to the sport. They couldn't describe the stereotypical beginning disc golfer any better. Went from just one round to all of a sudden a bag of discs they have no business throwing. But we'll get to that in a minute. Just like so many other Frolfers, it started from Choi, who works at one of those game stores I was referencing earlier, to ask his buddies to go out for a round. And now you won't see them on a course without each other. No, I'm not kidding. They're stuck to each other's hip, right next to each other's hands they're holding. Every build your own card, you can guarantee they'll be right there ready to go with UDisc already preloaded. For some reason, I see this problem all the time in disc golf. One of my all-time favorite things about this game is the different people you get to interact with. Because good, bad, weird, or boring, all you gotta do is last 18 holes. Sure, sometimes it could be a drag, but that's still a story you can tell later. Sometimes they're even better than when shit goes right. Disc golf is filled with the most interesting people that want to tell their frisbee stories to any ear that will give them the time of day. And there's only a few times I've been let down. I will never understand those types of people that take that opportunity completely out. It's like neglecting the culture the game was built on. Plus, if you want a real reason this is affecting your game, playing with your same friends you do in casual rounds now in rated leagues isn't preparing you for the situations you can't control your card mates. Now all of a sudden a tournament comes along, there's a whole other variable you haven't been practicing for. If you want the best results, you have to prepare yourself for success. When you keep pushing it off, it doesn't help your game. Okay, now that I hurt your feelings with facts, I can go back to my emotional argument about preserving the roots of frisbee golf. I might only be 23, but in disc golf age, I'm in my early 40s. And I miss the days when I just got my license and I'd be so happy to tell my parents about all the strangers I met and how proud they should be I turned down drugs. Not sure if you've ever been playing a solo round and then all of a sudden you're on a group of 6 because someone asks you to join, or along the way you created a train of other people. But that shit's so fun to me. I also take this as an opportunity to practice tournament settings. Not necessarily for the pressure moments, because in all honesty, I don't really give a shit about randos throwing DX sharks.
You throwing the putter you putt with, dude?
Is that not legal?
However, now I'm being forced to slow my pace and throw off any sort of rhythm I might have.
Damn.
You know how many times I hear people saying they shot some crazy score just for them to conveniently leave off the fact they did it at 8 in the morning by themselves in a 45-minute round? That might be great, but don't even start comparing that to your competition rounds when you're complaining about how bad you did. Personally, I found this is the best way to practice that doesn't require a buy-in. However, the optional side bets are always open with me. Thankfully, I was able to get the trio to let me get around with them. The only stipulation was, it was me versus 3 of them. Okay, I might have been the one instigating the shit talking, but that's kind of what I do here. I even let them choose a course I hadn't played in years. That's how scared of these chihuahuas I am. Which I guess isn't the best thing to say, especially since I'm currently down by a stroke. Then again, we're 6 holes into this no warm-up round, and they have 2 more drives to choose from, so I'll take it. Not when I fucking putt like an idiot, though.
Layup's on lock.
I can't even rebuttal because he's right.
Jesus Christ, dude. The fuck are you doing?
Small putt, baby.
Actually, I take back what I said earlier. Whatever the hell Big Red is doing is what putting like an idiot looks like. I still don't know what the fuck I just saw, and I hope to disc golf Jesus that I don't ever have to see it again. Spoiler, we're gonna see it again. I can't believe I'm letting someone putting with PA3s lead me by 2 strokes. Apparently Q is into putters with stupid ass names because I'm not sure any other reason the P3X is in the bag. He's also got a Toro, which confuses me because he's got the yarn over there. Don't give me any bullshit about how you need something a bit straighter. Take a break from beating your dick and do that to the disc. Or you could just stop being a pussy. Although, now that I'm seeing the origin over there, probably won't be happening anytime soon. You might be thinking, I have no idea what the fuck a chariot is. And I don't blame you. I don't like overstable midranges or DGA, so why the hell would I say anything good about the Quake? Q has a thing for throwing old molds rebranded. And for all you insufferable infinite throwers, you're bagging all the shitty discs that stop being made. If that isn't one sure way to realize the disc is bad, not sure what else will enlighten you. Allegedly, the Centurion is the old FD2, but that disc was worked on more than Frankenstein's monster. Slapping a new name doesn't fix all the problems. I would call Brave a top 10 worst Pixar movie, and same goes for the disc. It's made by Latitude. If you expected anything other than shit, you're just dumb. At least you're smart enough to have a T-Bird 3 in the bag. Kinda cancels out when you have a construct next to it, but whatever. You got this CD too, but for some reason it says Dynasty on it. Actually, all these discs have the wrong name. Here's the Destroyer that most will be able to get some natural turn out of, and if you can't, there's no reason to buy any other driver. Besides the Pharaoh, that is. If you're okay with Mudbloods, as it's the Destroyer top and Strike bottom. I will admit Q has a reasonable bag, and one of the few that I'm actually going to approve. I don't say that too often, only because I usually play with people this stupid.
Were you even close to the thing?
I put too much effort into that one and didn't throw it.
What does that even mean?
This is the second time I've had to see Big Red pull some dumb shit like this out. Quickest way to find out that Q and Choi were bad friends. I mean, there's no way I could watch someone do this all day and not smack some sense into them. You would think the airballs would be enough, but the hat adds extra thickness to his skull. The dude putts with a Muse. That should say enough. But before we can get into this bag roast, I wanted to share this moment. Like I said at the beginning of the video, I hadn't played here in years, so I really didn't know any of the lines. Luckily for me, I had a local tell me this as I was lining up my shot.
Your best bet then is to go over the trees and cut the corner. Think so? Yeah, that's what I do. You can get right to it. Try a fairway driver or something a little faster. So see that tall tree there?
Yeah.
You're trying to get 20, 25 feet past it, and then the gap right to the left.
Yeah.
Hit that gap at full
Go
speed.
left of the tree.
Yep.
If we gotta look for this, I better see your ass helping.
Yeah, you betcha.
Big Red was more confused than me on the tee as he couldn't decide which shitty thumb track disc to buy, so he got the Rhino and Wolf. 2 discs he should throw off a cliff. I mean, that's what the hat's for. Indiana Red is what we call him on the streets. The 90s called and wanted their rock back, but not just the one. No, just like most rock throwers, Red has 3 of them stuffed in that bitch, which normally would make me mad, but I was already livid when he told me this dumb shit.
I lost my ace disc twice.
Yeah, you gotta stop that. You gotta knock that shit off, dog.
And it keeps going in the basket, so I'm gonna keep
Bro.
throwing it.
You have 2 aces. Let's calm down over there, dude.
I stand by my opinion of retiring your first ace disc. I don't give a shit about any other wall hangers, but this is history that should be framed next to any family portrait. For so many disc golfers, all they want is that elusive ace, and not everyone is like Noah and can have his first on camera. However, the memento can live on forever. And I'm not one to post a fucking picture on Facebook. Stop doing that, people. So why would you ever risk losing a piece of treasure like that? Especially with a fucking $12 rock that every smoke shop will have. Big Red also throws a Temple and Lion, but I know he really wants to put 2 more rocks in the bag. You should just probably do that. I'm not too sure what's up with the Temple, but the Lion, yeah, that's trash. Any disc that has to rebrand to sell more is not good. Was I not clear on that over on Q's bag? Just like Frosted Tips, let's keep the Eagles in the 90s too. I want to talk shit about the Lift, but that's a solid disc more slower arm speed players should check out. The slowness of the disc with the understability should bring more distance for you noodle arms. But I don't care, since I see this dynamic shit in your bag. I thought we were fucking friends. I think Big Red was born in the wrong generation, because most of his discs would make a 60-year-old rock hard without any Viagra.
You're right.
I know.
Last thing that did that was the release of the Orc. Shout out to the janitor for that one. Although, I wish he picked a better disc. Like the Orc? Come on, Who wants to throw that? God damn it, Red. You got 3 of them bitches? And you got the Wraith and Voss here for some reason. But the only thing saving your ass is the Wild Honey over there. There's no other distance driver you should be throwing. Beat the fuck out of a couple for different wear and tear, and you're set. Just because of the honey, I'm gonna approve the bag. Although, pretty much every other disc was a horrible decision. Just like Choi over here deciding it was a smart move to jump on the Pixel bandwagon. For all you thinking switching was gonna fix your putt, how's that working out? The Tomb is a throwback for me. Somehow found its way into my bag when I was confused about my throwing putter. Unfortunately, I always had one of the baseline plastic, which got too flippy way too fast. But decent shallow putter. Good thing Choi was smart enough to bag a pair of zones. Don't know what overstable approach to use? Be like every other insecure chump. At least that way, people will always have your back if someone decides to roast you. You're not old enough to be throwing a meteor yet. The Hex is more like it. Honestly, one of the best feeling mid-ranges. Although, from my experience, not the most consistent. Or, I've just got unlucky with the ones that I've thrown. Some say it's always a passion. I question why any sane person would still have that disc in their bag. Choi knows what's up and always has a tasty T-Bird 3 ready to go. Metal Flake too. It's like he's been watching the videos. Not close enough though, or else he wouldn't be bagging a DX Sidewinder. Here's the last throw he ever had with it. And there's no reason to get a new one. Why the fuck would anyone throw an Insanity? The name makes it sound so much cooler than this lame-ass disc. Spoke too soon, as we got the Thunderbird. But if I was a few Milwaukee beasts in, I would call it the Thunder Chicken. And that's about the most interesting thing about that disc.
I wasn't even gonna set up the camera because I was like, I'm not fucking hitting this.
Now we get to the section of Choi's bag that seems more confused than someone putting with a Berg. Not sure the reason the Vulture's in the bag, but I think you got plenty of discs to fade for you. I think the Grace is one of the most overrated discs in the game right now. And it's only because we got people with the stamp in their spank bank. There's no reason for the Charger since you have the Wraith, which seems cool, but you got the Turn, which should be better. But the best of all, you got a fucking Wild Honey. Doesn't get much better than that. Good thing too, because it saved your bag from completely getting shit on. Although for the trio, I gotta give a big fat thumbs down. There's way too many shitty molds between the 3 of you guys. But hopefully after this round, you guys not only get better discs, but you'll also learn diversifying who you play disc golf with will not only help your game vastly, but it's good for the soul. Good old human interaction is good, and nowhere better than your local disc golf league. At least that way you know everyone's a nerd about it. There's nothing a disc golfer wants to do more than talk about disc golf. And no one's more guilty than me. I have 2 YouTube channels dedicated to that shit. I couldn't recommend participating at your local league anymore. It's the best way to learn, practice, have fun, help the course, you name it, you can find it. It frustrates me hearing people love disc golf so much, yet hide themselves from the fun side of the game. Trust me, no one cares if you're bad. And more than likely, there'll be 3 dudes eager to help you out. As long as you respect how the game is played and aren't a fucking moron, there's no reason to be nervous. Everyone already expected you to miss that 15-foot putt anyways. So if you ever wanted to get out and play at the local Dubs League, go and try it. Here's the extra push you needed. Because I'm tired of all you playing with the same group of 3 over and over again, thinking you're going to get any better at the game. If you want to stay the same forever, good for you. But don't start bitching. I ain't listening. Shout out to Choi, Q, and Big Red for letting me roast their bags. They might have gotten the better of me this time, but we'll run it back for sure. If you enjoyed, consider dropping a like and subscribe to not miss out on the next disc shaming video. Oh yeah, and if you want to see what your putting putter says about you, check out the video right here.
Nice.
Okay, that if it didn't hit that.
you?
All 3 of us. All 3 of us at the same time. I'll straddle out. So an inline.